In a world where economic dominance is a chess game on a global scale, two players have made a move that could shake the very foundations of the international financial system. Today, we delve into the intricate dance of power, strategy, and consequence. This is the story of how China and Russia are challenging the USA's economic stronghold. For decades, the US dollar has reigned supreme as the world's reserve currency. But now, it faces a potential threat, a threat born from the strategic maneuvers of China and Russia. Why are these two nations taking action? What do they stand to gain? And what does it mean for the US and the global economy? Let's start at the beginning. The US Secretary of State's recent visit to China was more than just a diplomatic mission. It was a confrontation with demands that China assist in crippling the Russian economy, particularly its war industries. But the response was not what the US had hoped for. Instead, China criticized the US for suppressing its rise, while touting its partnership with Russia. The implications are vast. The US dollar's dominance is being questioned, and the geopolitical climate is heating up. Some countries, wary of US sanctions, are reducing their reliance on the greenback, and the stakes are high. The dollar's status affects everything from trade to sanctions. If its position erodes, the US could lose significant economic and geopolitical power. Here are more examples of actions by China and Russia that have been perceived as challenging the US economy. Irregular warfare tactics. China and Russia have been accused of engaging in irregular warfare against the United States. This includes a mix of military, technological, and interagency approaches to stay ahead of adversaries without escalating to kinetic warfare. Economic acquisitions. An example of economic strategy is China's acquisition of A123, a US company that develops lithium-ion batteries. After going bankrupt, A123 was purchased by the Chinese Wangxiang Group Corp., giving China access to the company's technological research and manufacturing facilities. Bilateral cooperation. In recent years, China and Russia have increased bilateral cooperation across multiple domains, working together to offset US pressure, counterbalance US influence in multilateral forums, and challenge the US-led international order. Technological influence. There are concerns that China could use technology to influence US elections, as well as providing economic and security assistance to Russia as it engages in conflicts such as the war in Ukraine. Let's explore some potential scenarios for the future of the US economy and the dominance of the US dollar. Economic growth and headwinds. The US economy entered 2024 on strong footing, but it faces headwinds such as rising consumer debt and elevated interest rates. While a recession is not forecasted for 2024, consumer spending growth is expected to cool, and overall GDP growth may slow to under 1% in Q2 and Q3 2024. Labor market conditions are remarkably persistent, but inflation and interest rates should gradually normalize. De-dollarization movement. The de-dollarization movement gained steam in recent years. Countries like India, China, Brazil, Malaysia, and Bolivia are seeking to reduce the role of the US dollar in international trade. They aim to set up trade channels using currencies other than the dollar. Geopolitical risks, US sanctions on Russia, and rising interest rates have made some countries wary of being too dependent on the greenback. While the dollar's transactional dominance remains, some de-dollarization is taking place in foreign exchange reserves and oil markets. Scenarios for dollar erosion. Two scenarios could erode the dollar's status. Adverse events undermining the perceived safety and stability of the greenback, e.g., increased polarization in the US. Positive developments outside the US boosting the credibility of alternative currencies, e.g., economic and political reforms in China. Goldman Sachs's optimism. Despite resilient global growth, the dollar maintained its value in 2023. It could continue to perform well in 2024 due to strength in the job market, consumer spending, and exports. Wells Fargo's recession prediction. Wells Fargo predicts that the dollar will likely rally in Q1 2023 before dropping by almost 10%. A recession in the second half of 2023 could weigh on the dollar as economic confidence falls. Reuters poll of Forex strategists. Forex strategists believe the dollar's strength will remain formidable through the year's end, with risks tilted toward the upside. In summary, the dollar's dominance remains a topic of debate, influenced by geopolitical shifts, economic reforms, and global dynamics. While challenges exist, the dollar's fate will depend on how these factors evolve in the coming years.